Just behind me here, you'll see this blue box. That is our combined heat and power plant here at Grangemouth. It's the workhorse for the plant, making the power, the electricity and the steam that we need to keep our businesses running here at Grangemouth.
Combined heat and power plants are some of the most energy-intensive parts of any chemical site. So ensuring that emissions are dramatically reduced will be essential to INEOS's sustainability commitments.
So up till now, we've actually reduced emissions quite significantly. Since 2005, when INEOS took over the Grangemouth site, we've reduced emissions from 5 million tonnes a year to 3 million tonnes a year. And we've done that by a variety of means. The main one has been by converting from burning oil to create our power and steam and to burn natural gas.
A new £1 billion investment in the site at Grangemouth will see the building of a new power plant.
On its own, it'll save 150,000 tonnes a year of CO2, and it'll do that by basically using modern, up-to-date technology and replacing one of the older power stations that we have here on site.
The real carbon saving will be when power plants switch to hydrogen.
Once the supply of hydrogen is available, then the plant will be modified so that it can burn hydrogen instead of the natural gas that it burns today.
Across the group, there is a commitment to green hydrogen. But for a site the size of Grangemouth, the volume of energy required won't be available from renewable sources for many years. And that's where blue hydrogen comes in.
Blue hydrogen is made from natural gas. And natural gas has carbon and hydrogen in it. And what we do is effectively split the carbon from the hydrogen. The hydrogen is the blue hydrogen. The carbon is converted to CO2.
So during the process of producing blue hydrogen, we do produce CO2, but it's in a concentrated form, which makes its capture considerably more efficient. The efficiency of capturing it is about 95%. Of course, we're going to have to take the carbon and transport that. INEOS has a track record of delivering big, bold projects like the ethane importing the virtual pipeline from the States. But this challenge is so great, we can't do this all on our own, which is why we need to be part of the Scottish cluster. And that means working with companies like Storegga.
So the Scottish cluster unites our industries, businesses, government and communities because we've all got this shared goal. We need to decarbonise our industries. We need to make them sustainable into the future.
As part of the Scottish cluster, Storegga have a plan for taking on all of Grangemouth's captured CO2.
We're putting the gas into existing pipelines that were used for natural gas coming onshore, but now we're using these pipelines to put the carbon dioxide offshore. You're talking about 100 kilometres offshore and then 2.5 kilometres deep under the seabed. And we're looking to inject the carbon dioxide gas in the sandstone rock. Now, on top of that sandstone rock, we've got layers of a mudstone or shale, which is just thick layers of rock with very, very little pores, so no spaces in between the rock. And that means that the gas can't rise up from the sandstone rock. It hits the mudstone or shale, and it means that it can't go anywhere. So there is safe, permanent geological storage of this carbon dioxide. And it's the exact same geology that has held gas and oil in these rocks for millions of years. And because of that active oil and gas industry, we know that these rocks are really great for storing CO2.
So once we start burning hydrogen on the CHP behind me, that will enable us to produce steam and power for our own consumption, which will effectively be low carbon and will reduce the footprint throughout the site wherever we use steam and power at the moment.
So today we make around 3 million tonnes of CO2, and in the next few years the blue hydrogen plant will enable us to take another 1 million tonnes a year out of those emissions.
With access to blue hydrogen, INEOS businesses across Grangemouth will be able to reap the benefits of low carbon production.
Well, this will mean for our customers that we'll be able to pass on the benefits of a low carbon product, and with the support of government we'll be able to do that in a way which remains competitive in the global market. So our plans are that we will see the transition to hydrogen use in Grangemouth by the end of this decade, so by 2030.
Once we have the hydrogen here, it'll act as a magnet for other companies. They'll want to come here and try and use that hydrogen as well, so that to reduce their own CO2 emissions.
A recent government funding announcement excluded the Scottish cluster from initial funding. However, those involved remain positive for the future of the project.
We're currently just trying to understand the impact of the recent government announcements about being a reserve cluster in the UK government funding programme. But this is too important a project to stop.
We are still committed to delivering this change and this step in our roadmap. It might just adjust the schedule slightly.
Despite the current focus on blue, Grangemouth still has a roadmap to eventually switch to green hydrogen.
Green hydrogen is very important to INEOS, and INEOS is committed to a green hydrogen future. We're using blue hydrogen as a stepping stone on the way to that.